What are we done? Week 3.
Yeah, we're done the season, but we're behind the 8 ball.
And we're done.
we're done the season.
Yeah.
Week 3. Well, we've been busy the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
Week 3 was pretty crazy. We did half the week at the tent, then the second half of the week at Chandler Lake Camps.
Yes.
Which had a fantastic time.
We did. Yeah.
And then the following week, this past week was Thanksgiving week, and you went to Boston. And Lacey says, she's like, you're home for about half a day, and then you're back up hunting. So, yeah, there's been a lot of back and forth. But so week 3, that was a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, that was the end of it for us, Paul.
Yeah.
But you waited till the end of week 3, Saturday.
Last day.
And it was a classic deer hunt.
That was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. That was a good that was a good deer hunt. And like you said, we need to talk about we stayed at Chandler Lake Camps with Jason and Sherry Bouchard, and we had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
They do a fantastic job.
100%. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of that in a minute, because that was just, I've got so much stuff that I'm going to share from that.
Yeah.
From the people that were there with us, to the camps themselves, and then obviously we had a successful hunt there.
Yes, we did. 2 days hunting.
Icing on the cake.
And you got it done in 2 days of hunting.
We saw bucks every day.
Yeah.
So
we had a good guide. He pointed us in the right direction from right out of the gate. Yeah. So that was a big deal.
So the beginning of that third week, we got snow.
Yeah.
We got what, 4 inches or so?
Yeah.
Sunday night. I went in Sunday night, and it snowed hard into Monday morning. I remember we were 8:30 out looking for a nice buck track, and it was still snowing like crazy.
Yeah.
And then, what happened Monday?
Oh, Paul, it's been so...
Everything's kind of blended in together.
It is. I know what happened the end of that third week, and...
was that I'm trying to think if I got anything...
I think that was the day we made a loop, Paul. And, we made a loop, and I think we ended up coming back to where we started. We found a track right out of the gate on the hillside, and we left it. Nice big track.
Yep.
And we made a loop looking for other tracks. Didn't find anything or that you liked. You were hunting.
Yeah.
I was riding. And come back to the very first one. And
Then I don't remember how far I went that day. Tuesday, it's kind of the same thing. I'd picked up a big buck track again.
Yeah.
And I think that was the buck I tracked earlier in the season. One of those days that we had tracking snow early on, only like half the day.
Yeah.
He was, some deer are just going to be hard to kill.
Yeah.
He was, the first time I ever jumped him up, he had bedded down. He was just super skittish. Jump him up once and he just ran and ran and ran. And he kind of reminded me, remember that deer that a few years back that was just like running the hillside everywhere? This guy, he was doing kind of the same thing. He was just hitting different areas, checking out other deer, and he would jog. Didn't run as crazy as that other deer, but he just was like on a mission.
Yeah, he was going to be tough to catch.
But I got to think he had some nice antlers, because he'd tear apart some trees and he would just shred them like a cheese grater. And it's hard for me to stay away from that stuff.
Yeah.
When I see a track like that, and I'm like, cognitively, you're like, that might be a hard buck to catch, but I mean, I really want to do it.
Yeah.
And we went all over creation that day, up on the knoll, back down off the knoll, and he was just checking other deer. Get into a lot of deer sign. That was the day I ended up way over on that road. You came and picked me up. And that was about a 10-mile day.
Yeah.
Lacey asked me, she goes, how many steps you get that day? I think it was like 22,000 steps or whatever. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
But Wednesday of that week, I'm like, oh, I'm going over to this spot because there's been a big buck there. And what happens? It was windy all that night.
Yeah.
I remember I kept waking up.
I was going to tell that story.
Go
Paul.
ahead and
So Wednesday, you had taken off, and we had planned on coming home Wednesday.
Because we're going back
I had my
up.
vehicle, so I said, well,
you're going to head out early.
I'll head out early. And so generally we're not around the campsite in the daylight, so we don't know what goes on. But I had to go up to the privy there, and 25 feet from the tent, there's buck tracks going right by the picnic table, right through the campsite. We got the tent set up on, and I took some pictures of them. And that deer walked right under the game pole where you said, right
exactly under it.
Yes, right under the cross beam where we hung up my deer. He walked right under that. So more than likely, he walked through there while we were sleeping in the tent. I'm thinking, yeah, I thought that was, and he had. You talk about sights and smells, and he never changed his cadence. It was just a casual walk right through the campsite there.
I saw where that buck. So Keith and I went up the 4th week.
Yeah.
Keith wanted to do some tracking, had a great trip. We'll have him on next week.
Yeah.
Or actually probably the end of this week, share his experience because we were into some deer. Saw some bucks. And, but anyway, I saw where that deer walked. We'd come out on one of those old roads.
Yeah.
And he walked right directly down that road towards the tent.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing. You can see his old track.
Yeah.
And Dad, I don't think it was 25 feet. It was right by the corner where I was sleeping.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're right. It wasn't far. He was just a few feet away from the picnic table, and I
couldn't believe it.
Yeah. He walked
and I was
right
like,
there.
yeah, Dad wasn't lying.
Yeah.
He went directly between the uprights of the
walked right under the game
pole.
The game pole. Yeah.
And it was funny that night, Tuesday night, it was so windy. That wind had been bothering me. It keeps me, because I'm like, I don't want a tree to come down on the...
Yeah, that's always a concern.
I'm not worried about my safety. I'm worried about, I don't want it to ruin my hunt.
Yeah, well, or a $5,000 tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
or however much it cost.
Yeah, so I was laying there. I thought, and it just could have been me, but it was coincidental. I was like, geez, did I hear something outside?
Yeah, you probably did.
And I was joking with myself. I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if it was a big buck? Never thought anything else of it.
Yeah.
And then you tell me that a buck walked through the campsite that night. And I was like, you don't suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't have anything going, but I should have just sat at the picnic table. And that buck was going through there a lot. He kept running that ridge back.
Yeah, right behind the tent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, and right after that, on my way out, right in the middle of the road, I don't know what time it was. Mid-morning, probably 8:30 or so. I come around the corner and there's a buck standing in the middle of the road.
You said it was a nice buck.
Yeah. Yeah. So I said, well, the first vehicle I come to, I'll flag down and let him know exactly where it was. And maybe he can, it was a guy that had talked to us on the radio and from Caribou. And I told him exactly where it was there. And he said he was going to go take a look at it. So look at the track and see.
So isn't that the way it goes? The guy who tags out or has a filled tag, seeing all the bucks. Yeah.
And that happened a couple times.
It did.
The third week.
It did.
Yeah.
So I come back Wednesday night, get things in order to head back up Thursday.
Right.
Because we're going up to Jason and Sherry's. And we get there, just before dinner?
Yeah, we actually got there a little later than we expected, Paul, because we were running into a lot of logging activity.
It was busy.
A lot of truckers and stuff. And so we were erred on the side of caution and pulled over and waited a number of times and waited quite a while for the logging trucks to go by and stuff. And the roads were a little slippery too. So we were a little later than normal. Yeah. Than what we expected. So
we get there. There was a great camp full of guys.
Yeah.
You had Jerry, Sherry, and Jason.
Yeah.
Which do a phenomenal job.
They do.
They're very it's a sporting camp, so you're trying to run a business, but it doesn't feel like a business in the sense that they seem very invested in their clients.
Clientele.
Like
Yeah.
they're very interested in who's there.
Yeah.
And kind of sharing that experience with them.
Yeah.
As opposed to them just showing up and then collecting their money and
Right.
and then being done with it, getting what they want. They seem very invested in their clients, big time.
They do.
So then he had some older gentlemen there. So we had Fred Beck, who was a guide, grew up basically at Red River Camps as a little kid.
Yeah, started guiding there, Paul. That was a really interesting story. He started guiding there I think around 62, in the early 60s, at 16 years old.
Yeah.
And the stories that, for instance, the one story that really stuck out in my mind was the year Red River Camps, which no longer even has a deer camp, a deer week or whatever. They took in 105 hunters for the season, or maybe it was a week. No, it couldn't have been. It must have been for the season. 105 hunters shot 99 deer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like crazy for the North Maine woods. We can't even imagine that type of success.
And Jason put this together.
Right.
So we got to document all of the stories.
Yeah.
That went along with Arthur was gracious enough to.
Yeah. Well, we really only scratched
Fred,
the surface.
excuse me, was gracious enough to.
Yeah.
Share all of his pictures.
Yeah.
With me. We spent a good 3 hours one night.
Yeah.
Just talking about their experiences.
Yeah. And like I say, you can't even. That's just scratching the surface of their lives and their experiences in the woods and stuff. And the other guy, did you mention the other guy?
No, Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur Krause.
Arthur Krause
was the, and then
they were basically best friends since they were 5.
Yeah, 5 years old.
They're both essentially 80 years old. Fred's 79.
79 and 80.
Arthur's 80.
Yeah.
And they've done this since they were 5 together. Yeah. And they're still doing it successfully. Arthur shot a deer first morning at camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
which is incredible.
To hear them tell the story. Like I said, we got it all on film. And
and there was another gentleman there too that was
Bob Wiseman.
Bob Wiseman. He was the past president of the Maine Trappers Association, and
85.
Yeah, he's still doing it.
Didn't look 85 at all.
No.
And I wish he would have stayed longer because I wanted to be able to pick his brain.
Yeah. Well, maybe some other time he'll down the road that'll happen, Paul. But they were 3 incredibly interesting gentlemen that have a lifelong experience in the outdoors and stuff, and
so many connections with a lot of great outdoorsmen too. Yeah. Because was it Fred's father-in-law was Sleepy Atkins?
Yes.
A lot of connections with a lot of people that live their lives.
Yeah, I mean the Atkins name is legendary in not only the warden service but in the outfitting business in northern Maine. Yeah, it goes back a long way, over 100 years.
Then he had 2 super nice clients there from Connecticut.
Yeah,
Brett and Charles.
Yeah,
kind of their first experience hunting in northern Maine, and they had a great time. And then even I guess you'd call him a full-time guide. He's living right there with Jason and Sherry. Joe.
Yes, Joe.
I wanted so bad to get his story.
Yeah,
Joe didn't really want to be on camera much, but
we'll get him maybe sometime. Joe,
because Jason would laugh the minute you pull out a camera. You'd be sitting there, and
Joe would disappear.
Where'd Joe go to?
Yeah, his was an interesting story. As a young man to, from New Jersey to, take a leap of faith and move up here and work for a sporting camp and stuff. And that's an interesting story in itself.
Loves to fly fish.
Yeah, he's a diehard
heck of a fly
fisherman.
I wish I would have got pictures of his bench there.
Yeah.
He's serious about it.
Yeah.
There's no, he's.
Yeah.
not messing around.
He's got a great future up there, Paul, as a guide.
Yeah.
Because he's not afraid of work, you know, and he's just got an attitude of he's all in.
Yeah.
So he's got a great future and Jason and Sherry are lucky to have him.
Yeah.
He's not somebody you have to babysit.
It's hard to find good help.
It is.
It looks like they hit the jackpot there with Joe.
Yeah.
But yeah, a great group of guys to spend 3 nights. So first morning, Friday morning, Jason gave us a tip.
We were headed out the door.
Yep.
We were just going to make our own way, Paul. And we've hunted in the North Maine woods. We could find something going on somewhere.
There's a couple spots. We weren't going to go far from there, actually.
Yeah.
There's a couple spots that we always saw deer. And snow was getting old at that point. It was, 4 days old?
Yeah.
And it would freeze up at night, thaw during the day. Freeze up at night, thaw during the day. Made tracking a little more time intensive.
But you can still do it. You can still tell what was yesterday and what was,
But
today.
you get going on a track, you get down in some crap or whatever, and you end up a couple minutes to sort out.
Right.
Because a lot of times, like, at least for me when I'm tracking, I don't look down much, and I'm going just by, like, seeing where the deer walk.
Right. In your peripheral
and you're moving
vision,
along, and then pretty soon you're like,
yeah,
wait, this isn't the deer.
Yeah.
Where the heck did he go? When you back up and you're working it out. So I guess, you any snow is good snow.
Yeah.
But we always want the ideal
right
scenario where you can move right along and not take a lot of time sorting stuff out. But yeah, there was a lot of old time. But yeah, like you said, we were just walking out the door and Jason just happenstance, he's like, your next few days here, he goes, just take a ride in around.
Take a look at this area.
Yeah. Before you go.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll do it today.
Yeah.
First place. It's going to be on the way.
Yeah. When somebody, that lives there tells you that, you know that, the way he said it, we better probably check that out, because when, like I say, he lives up there, and, it was you knew that it was going to be worth checking out.
Yeah.
So
it didn't take long for you to see a nice buck.
Yeah, you parked in an area and went down in the woods on some deer tracks, and while you were gone, I was sitting in the front seat of your truck. I'd do a little reading and a little writing. I had a journal I needed to, and I took a little nap, and it was the funniest thing. I kind of closed my eyes sitting in your passenger seat, and I just opened my eyes, and when I opened my eyes, I thought, boy, that looks like the outline of a deer up there on the side of the road. It wasn't far. It was probably 100 yards or whatever, but it was in the brown grass. And I see white, but there's snow, it could be a patch of snow somewhere or whatever. But as my eyes started to focus, I'm going, I see a head and I see a body. And it looks like it's looking directly at me, just statue still. And I thought about getting my camera out, but I didn't want to move around too much, I thought maybe it came out of right where you went in.
Yep.
And I thought maybe you were going to track it up. So
you must have just missed each other.
So I kind of didn't want to scare it.
Yeah.
I just kind of, so I sat there and just looked at it. Pretty soon it puts his head down, a buck, and walks right across the road. And no sooner did it get across the road than Arthur and Fred pulled up behind me. And I told them, I said, well, I'll show you where it was. And I went down and showed them where it had crossed and stuff. And about 15 or 20 minutes later, you come by, and you went up in the woods after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd met them. So what I did is I went down in and had made a hook, because there was a lot of deer going down in there.
Yeah.
And we must have just missed each other, because when I hooked around, I hooked out to a road that was perpendicular to the road we were on.
Yeah.
And I must have been, I think I was all the way out to the road when he must have walked across where I'd already been.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, I'll hook back in and walk down the road back to Dad. And because nothing super fresh a lot of deer sign,
Right.
but nothing super fresh. So I come around the corner and I see Arthur and Fred driving down the road. They roll down the window. They're both smiling. Your dad just had a big buck walk in front of the pickup. Like, are you kidding me? They said they missed it by like about a minute.
Oh yeah, it was just a minute or two, because I was going to text you and tell you.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even got the text. I didn't even have time to get the text out. So I thought, well, and I knew that they weren't going to follow it up in the woods.
Yeah.
At 80 years old, they weren't going to go beating the brush up there for.
I did.
You did, yeah.
So I took off after him. He was on a mission. He started making some scrapes up there on the hill, but he get into a bunch of other deer.
Yeah.
And kind of all going the same direction. I was like, great. Got all kinds of deer going here in the same fresh sign too. And two of the bucks veered off, and I'm still with the biggest track, and then there's a small track with them. And I said, well, he ends up turning left. And I'm like, well, if I don't think this is the deer that had come across the road, I can always hook back and hit those other two and sort it out there. But anyway, we get into some thick stuff, and the big one's going basically in a straight line. And I see the little one keeps meandering into some tops and stuff, and had a totally different demeanor to him.
Mm.
And I'm pretty sure that's the deer I ended up seeing.
Yeah.
So I'm coming along, and I get to this like bog, almost like a peat bog. You know when they have like stunted coniferous trees?
Yeah.
Maybe
Fir
6 or 8 feet tall, but they're all old and very skinny, penciled like trees. And it's all mossy and quiet. And I'm just stepping out into it. And, as you're looking back and forth, it's amazing how a deer just all of a sudden appears.
Yeah.
Like I just looked to the left, nothing there. And I look back to the right, and I'm standing right by a fir tree. And there's a deer standing there, not very far away. So I pull up. I'm like, my first inclination was didn't see antler. Like, it's a doe. So I turn on the camera, and then I'm looking, and I'm like, boys, that head looks awful blocky.
Mm.
It looks like an awful square head. I still couldn't make out any antlers on it, but it was a buck.
Yeah.
He'd bedded down a little buck. He was bedded there. And so I didn't see him the first time I looked over there. But when I scanned back over, he had stood up out of his bed, and there he was. I could have shot him 20 times.
Yeah.
Standing there broadside looking at me. So he takes off, and I continued in and just kept getting into there was a lot of deer in there. And that was probably, 1 or 2 in the afternoon I think we were going to get some snow that night. And we wanted to check out another spot, which wasn't much going on there. So we get back to camp that night. Oh, Arthur and Fred also saw another buck that day.
Yes, they did on a side road up in the same area, but
they didn't see the head, but
yeah, they said it was a big deer. But
Arthur said he had a butt on him about that wide.
Yeah,
so I was pretty sure it was
more than likely a buck. Yeah.
So Friday on the drive back to camp, we got a dusting of snow.
Yeah,
just enough to kind of hit reset on everything.
Yeah.
And we had a late night that night too, because that was the night we
did some interviews,
recorded a bunch of stuff.
You did some video work and
listened to all kinds of good stories and
watched some old. And that was another interesting thing about Fred. You don't find people that recorded their
life.
In the 60s and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to come across an outdoorsman that's. And he said his mother was a photographer, so that they had a lot of pictures of their outdoor life in their early years back in the 60s. And
how good that she did. I mean, that's invaluable now.
Yeah, it is.
At the time, you don't appreciate it.
Yeah,
you're thinking, just
and people didn't do it back then, like to that extent.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, we're going to share a bunch of it. It just.
Yeah.
Amazing, the experiences as a little boy.
Yes.
Jumping on float planes.
Yes.
If there was room.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with
these
people.
Yeah,
what an opportunity.
Yeah, he had an interesting story of he was taking driver's ed in high school, and his dad was up hunting at their camp up towards Fish Lake. I don't know if I can say that or not, but I just did.
Yeah, it's back in
up around Fish Lake,
back in the 60s.
And so his dad went up, but Fred said, "Well, I can't because I can't miss, my driver's ed." And so he stayed for his driver's ed, and he did his class, and they were actually out on the road driving, and he asked the instructor, he said, "Can I go first? Can I do my little drive first?" Instructor let him, and then he, as soon as he get done, he said, "Well, swing around," and I'm done. I'm getting out of the car. I've done my class, and they dropped him off. He jumped on the float plane and was flown into. I mean, how many kids?
They dropped him off at the seaplane base, didn't they?
Yeah. How many kids would have that opportunity that have their dad spring for a float plane to fly him in after class to go deer hunting?
See you later.
Yeah.
Going hunting.
That was I found that interesting, and he lived the life.
Some really good nights at camp.
Yeah.
So, we get up the next morning and nice fresh dusting of snow, and we get out. We go back into where that buck had crossed.
Yeah, went in the same area.
I said, I saw a lot of buck sign up in there, a lot of deer getting in together. We didn't see anything fresh crossing the road. I didn't go in on a track, but I'm like, I'm going to go up in there. And there was some like mature woods down in off this mountain at the base of it. And, or about a quarter of the way up it. And I'm like, I'm going to follow in along there, because it was all hardwoods to the right, and it was nice mature forest to the left. And it went in along a body of water eventually. And it took me about an hour, and then I started cutting some deer sign, and I came to 2 really good buck tracks. They were going the same direction. And I'm like, they were making scrapes like crazy. And I'm like, well, I'm going to get on these 2. And the fresher of the 2, they're about the same size, but the fresher of the 2, like if he veers off, I'm going to stay with him. But he didn't. He would veer off for a minute and come right back to some other deer. He stayed right with them. So I was just taking my time, and I get to a spot, and it's funny. I just get down in the woods to back up here a little bit. I hadn't seen any moose sign. And both days that I first get in the woods, moose barking and going it at me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. So that was the first thing that morning. So then I continue on, and it must have been 9-ish or so. It was loud that morning because everything was crunchy, and it warmed up as the day went on. And I hear something walking towards me. Crunch, 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 crunch. Kind of gets your heart pumping.
Yeah, it does.
I hear it coming to my right. And I was kind of in a thick spot, though. And I'm like, man, I hope it doesn't walk at a distance. Pretty soon I can see movement through it was like a bunch of hardwood whips. Little hardwoods anyway. And I see movement, and I had an opening. I see a head come out. There's a cow moose and her calf right behind her. Like, son of a gun. So I continue on. And then we come into some nice, mature woods. Easy walking, can see really good. And end up, the buck takes off to my right. And what had happened was, so I'm tracking this buck, and now there's quite a bit of deer sign going down in here. They've all kind of funneled in together. And there was like a pile of snags that had like blowdowns, and a bunch that had kind of piled up on top of each other. And that buck had come off to my right, coming towards me, and had gotten past those snags. And then he was kind of behind me. So when I stepped out from those snags, he was kind of behind me to my right, saw me, and he blows and takes off back from the way he came. So he's running across my right side, broadside. So I pull up, and I hesitated just for a second. wanted to see what he had for
Right.
rack.
What kind of buck he was.
Yeah. Because I'm like, it's not the buck I'm on. And so I see main beam and some height to it.
Yeah. Points. And
And because it was a tall rack.
Yeah, it was a
It
tall
went
rack.
up high off that. So I'm like, I'm gonna take it. So I fired. First shot I was confident with.
Yeah.
And he flinched in the scope. I remember his head went back. And I fired again. That one didn't connect. That wasn't a good shot. And so I felt good about it. So I walk up and there's hair and blood spraying everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of blood.
I'm like, good. So I had noted in my scope the last place that I saw him. I went directly there, and I'm just seeing blood spraying to the left. Well, that son of a gun, basically where I'd marked in my head, where I last saw him, he had bedded down right there.
Yep.
Instantly. So I get right there, and he takes off. And I get another shot at him. And I don't know if I hit him that time. He's at the meat cutter right now, so we'll find out exactly which holes.
Oh, you did take it to Joe.
I did. I took it to Joe.
Good for you. Yeah. I didn't know whether you were going to try to do it.
I wanted to do it, and the kids are a little bummed because they enjoy helping.
Yeah.
They like to run the vacuum sealer.
Yeah.
And Annabelle was like, I really like doing that, but I just didn't have, I've got a lot of stuff to clean up.
Yeah.
And I had to get to it. So I called Joe, and Joe Chassis, most of the deer we get from other people, he does, and it's good.
Yeah.
So we'll find out exactly which shots are where, I hope. So anyway, I fire one more time, and I walk over to where I fired at him, and there was blood a lot everywhere.
Yeah.
So it was 10:30 in the morning. No risk of losing tracking snow.
Right.
And I've got all day long. So I'm like, well, I'm quite a ways from the truck. And you were over on another road, and I look, and there's a road close by. I'm like, I'll run out to Dad and let this deer expire.
Right.
Go get because you've now got the deer hauler.
Yeah. Which we still haven't used.
You still haven't used the stinking thing.
But that's at the end of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I turn on Onyx, and I'm like, you were actually a mile, 0.96 miles.
Yeah.
In a straight line. I just had to go up over the mountain. So I'd send some texts out to Lacey. Say, yeah, I hit a deer. It's looking good. Lots of blood, lots of hair. I'm going to go get Dad, and we're going to scoot around and just give it time to expire.
Yeah.
So I get out to you, and you kind of were like, I get to the truck, and you're like, where the heck were you? Because it was a long ride.
Yeah.
Back over.
Yeah, we drove and we drove and we drove, but it was deceiving because you kind of drove in a circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of looped in a horseshoe or whatever. But man, I thought, how far did you walk anyway? After you walked to shoot the deer and you walked back to the truck, and I thought, well, man, that was quite a jaunt. So you drove around and get on a road system that we could get as close to where you had shot the deer as possible. Yeah. Yeah.
So you didn't say this to me at the time, but when I finished the deer off, you're like, I had half a mind to haul the sled down in behind me. It was a good thing you didn't. Yeah,
we walked quite a ways before we caught the deer.
So that deer, we get down there, we hit his blood trail, and then he's just walking. Yeah. And the blood's drying up.
Which always happens, no matter how...
You just start to get little spots here and there, and you're going... And then the doubt starts to creep in. Yeah. You're like, okay, I shot the deer 2 hours ago. Yeah. You know, it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock now. And you're like, it's like, he's still walking. Mm. Now, he went a mile from where I first shot him.
Oh, is that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They can cover some ground quick.
Oh, yeah, they can.
You know, and we were going...
We weren't going fast.
Super slow.
Yeah.
We were expecting to see him either bedded down or...
Right.
Just want to make sure, you know, if he's not expired, can do the job.
Yeah.
And he gets into getting into deer. And, finally, we come to a bed. He just bedded down in a random spot right in the trail.
Yeah.
Just like he just...
Yeah, right on the deer trail.
Gave up.
Yeah.
And then he gets up and walks out of it.
Yeah.
Gets down to a brook, which they go right to water.
Yeah.
Bedded down beside the brook. Then gets up and walks out of that. beds down on the opposite side of the brook. And there was tracks walking out of that. And then that's when
You saw him.
he was underneath the spruce tree and he took off. He bedded down right there. And then he was pretty well.
Yeah,
well
he'd
done.
go 50, 75 yards or 100 yards, and he'd bed right back down. He didn't want to go anymore, and that's pretty much when I knew, okay, he's done.
Yeah.
He doesn't. We're going to catch him.
Yeah. So we didn't go much further, and I should have saw him on the ground, but it was getting dark.
Yeah.
And even in at 2:30 in the afternoon when it's overcast, it starts to get this dark.
Yep.
In
In November at 2:30 when it's overcast, it starts, and you're in the woods. It starts getting dark.
You still have 2 hours to hunt.
Yeah.
So the very last time I was on top of him, but he'd bedded down right on this side of a blowdown in some raspberries, and he hops up in front of me. I don't know, maybe 25 yards away or whatever. It was 3:00 at this point.
Yeah.
And I remember in my head, I pull up, and I took just an extra second.
Yeah.
And I was just telling myself, make her count because we don't want to go any further.
Right.
And caught him right in between the neck there. And that was all she wrote. But what a tough animal. He had a hole coming out his side.
Yeah.
The size
he had
of
a
my
hole in
fist.
him you could put your fist through, and they are tough.
Yeah.
They don't want to give up.
No. So we get there, drop the deer, and then you look at me and you're like, kind of just look around. You're like, where the heck are we?
Well, after we tracked for a few hours, and we did. We tracked for quite a few hours there, Paul. Like you said, it was only a mile, but
we were going slow.
Yeah.
Just
But and we don't know where we're going. We're just following a deer. So you don't know where you end up is where you end up. And but that was the fun of it. It was so.
That's what makes it.
It was, the light was getting dim, and you look around, and we were in a little raspberry patch in the middle of the woods.
There was a crap hole right there.
And it's all just black spruce all around you, and you're going, man, what are we in for here anyway? But like I say, that was the fun of it. You don't know where you are. You deal with the.
It was a fun day. It was basically, it's like that's why you do it.
Yeah.
Like you get down into
the unknown.
God knows where.
Yeah.
And you harvest a buck.
Yeah.
And then you got to figure out the best way to get her out.
Yeah.
So I told you we're sitting there, and it's in the video when I get it edited, but I'm going to let Jason know that we probably won't be back before dark.
Yeah. Don't hold supper for us, Jason
so
and Sherry.
So I sent some texts out first. And then you were like, well, turn on Onyx and see where the closest road is. And this has happened a lot to me.
Yeah.
I turn Onyx on and I'm like, oh my gosh, we are 300 feet
100
from
yards.
a road right there.
Drivable road.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't a bad drag.
No.
In the woods where once we get through those raspberries,
Yeah.
which was, I don't know, 50 feet
There was
or
skid
whatever.
trail there and stuff. Yeah.
Once we get out of that little crap hole, it was a, well, I say easy drag. I got it halfway, 3/4 of the road. I had a long walk to get the truck.
Yeah.
It was dark at that point. So I told you, I was like, well, I'll leave the deer right there and I'm going to hoof her back to the pickup.
Yeah.
And go get it. And so it probably was like a 3-mile walk to the truck, maybe a little further.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of
3-mile run to the truck.
I ran.
You ran to the truck.
I jogged.
Yeah.
Figured, so here I am. Sherry made a good breakfast, but I hadn't eaten since breakfast.
Yeah.
Here it is 4:30 or whatever. I haven't eaten all day.
Yeah.
I jogged, so I tracked this buck all day. Hiked out to you. Tracked him some more.
Yeah.
Killed him. Run back to the pickup.
Yeah.
And then first thing I did when I got there was had one of Sherry's sandwiches on the way back to the to the deer. And I took a care of coyote on the way back too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You always feel bad when there's always a party that feels bad when you harvest a deer.
Yeah.
But I saved a few more by
hitting the coyote. Yeah. Yeah,
So I get back to that road, and you had them all drug out.
Yeah, it was pitch dark when you got down there, and like I say, that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
The unknown and you don't want it just to be like simple, easy.
No.
Yeah, that was the fun of it. Pulling a deer out in the dark.
Yep.
And yeah.
The walk back to the truck was lonely, but it's a good feeling. I'm watching.
Oh, it's the best feeling in the world.
So
you get a deer back in the woods. Yeah, it's a long run back to the truck, but I mean, yeah, that's.
I get up on a knoll, and you can just see the horizon glowing.
Yeah.
And that snow, it's so bright anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need
a light.
You don't need a light. You can see, especially on a road, you can see.
Yeah.
See where you're going just fine. So yeah, and then the great thing about like deer camp stuff is now you get a buck down, you're headed back to camp, and you pull in the dooryard, and everyone comes outside.
Yeah.
And you're all gathered around, telling the story about what happened and the ups and downs of the day, and you get a solid shot into a deer, and then you're like, well, I expect him to be here, and then it's not.
Yeah.
Goes further than you expect. Then you get it,
it's
like, yeah, it plays with your emotions, and yeah, that's fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was, like I say, those type of hunts are a lot of fun. There's a lot of unknowns in there. And at this stage of the game, man, after it's all said and done, you're kind of looking around. And I told you, I said, well, when you talk to Jason, tell him to send a helicopter in here. Yeah.
And I felt bad because we were, a little bit rushed for time. You want to take photos and stuff and spend some time doing that. But we were losing light quick.
Yeah, it's at 3:00 after you, and then you talk for 15 minutes or so, and then you got to dress it off, and then it's 3:30, and then you're really losing light, and you got to do something. You got to get going.
Yeah. So it was fantastic hunt, and then we were the only ones left at camp that night.
Yeah.
So it was us, Sherry, and Jason, and Joe.
Yeah.
We enjoyed the evening. Telling deer stories and just kind of savoring the experience.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't get any better than.
Yeah. And then you got and then I was thinking of that today, Paul, man, I miss deer hunting already. It's going to be 11 months before we can do it again. And,
today I was telling Keith. So Keith and I went up, brought him up to the tent. We did some tracking. And like I said, we got into some deer, which I'll let him share that next week. Cause he gets cause he's a big field hunter, and he's like, you're basically left with whatever happens to walk in front of you, hunting a field. But he's like, doing this, he's like, you can pretty well guarantee that you got a big deer in front of you.
Yeah.
Because you just feel.
The places we go to, Paul, they're not hunted hard. I mean, they don't see
well, there's still, a lot of miles between pockets of deer.
Yeah.
A lot of spots without deer. But you're right. You don't see.
They just, it's not like around the communities here, around the towns where there's a lot of hunters. There's a lot of hunters around here. And up there, like Keith was saying, you can find something. Yep. He's limited here to a certain area where he can hunt.
Yeah.
And there's people all around you.
Yeah.
And they're harvesting the same deer that you've been watching that you have on camera. And that, after a while, and this guy got this 9-pointer, and this guy got this 10-pointer, and then you're thinking, well, the only thing that's left are, maybe a few yearling bucks running around, and you can get up in the big woods and make stuff happen up there. Get away
you
from
work
hunters.
at it. Yeah. It's a lot of hard work.
It's a lot of hard work, but that's the fun of it.
Yeah,
that's the fun of it. That was.
And he had said, he goes, there's one afternoon, he's like, my hip flexors are killing me. I'm like, you use muscles that you don't really
it's
normally use.
And like I say, and then you can do that day after day, all day long, and then at 3:00 some afternoon, you shoot a deer, and you haven't kept track of you. Well, you don't know where you are. You just followed a deer, and you're where he ended up, and that, like I say, that's kind of the fun of it. Well, where are we anyway? What are we looking at to get the deer out? And
so yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, Lacey. So I text her, said, "Yeah, buck down." And this next thing she asked me, so she's like, "Where are you?" I was like, "Somewhere in the woods."
I did the same thing.
She laughed. She knew what I was referring to.
Yeah, Narda, the same thing. She asked me, "Well, where are you?" And I says, "I have no idea where we are."
I said, "We're somewhere in the woods."
But I don't want to carry this conversation on too long because darkness is approaching, and we got a lot of work to do. So, yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. But yeah, that was so. Yeah, you just to back up. You talk about it's a bummer that it's over. Keith had just pulled in the dooryard a few minutes ago, and he was kind of like, "I don't know if I'm going to get my muzzleloader license." He's like, "I sit there and just watch a bunch of does."
Yeah.
And there's a spike horn that just keeps coming in. And he goes, I don't really want to sit there. And I looked at him and I was like, you probably wouldn't have to twist my arm too hard to go out tracking for a day. I said, I really shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of stuff to take care of. But it was snowing this afternoon, and I just kept thinking, man, wouldn't I like to go chase a deer today?
And I didn't with you, Paul, because I couldn't keep up. I'd be holding you back if I, once we went in to get the deer, that's fine because we went slow and stuff. But I couldn't try to follow you all day long. I would hold you back if I
felt when Keith was with me.
I have to go. I could do it, but I'd have to go at my own pace. I can't go at your pace. So
we were looking for a fresh buck track the first day. And of course, I was kind of in searching mode. I wasn't seeing any fresh sign.
Cover some ground.
So I was like, all right, let's get into actually.
Yeah.
And I don't want to steal all this thunder here, but we get into a spot where some bucks were fighting. Right on the backside of, where that big buck had been going back and forth. We get to a spot where there's deer tracks all along this ridge. And I kind of look way down to the right, and it looked like almost like something had pawed the ground from where I was standing. We go over and there's hair.
Yeah.
It's, what I was seeing was like deadfall logs all tore up from them pushing each other. And we get into at that point, we'd gotten into some fresh sign, but to get to that point, we were hoofing her right along.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing. I'm like, we'd gone so far, and I'm like, well, Keith, the tent's right down there, right off the ridge. And we hit the road. I'm like, you want to get something to eat there before we? He's like, yeah, sure. So we stopped there for 10 or 15 minutes. Walking out the road, it probably wasn't more than an hour old because that morning it was frozen that morning.
Yeah.
Things had warmed up and it was soft.
Yeah.
Buck walked out in the road, walked right down the road, and it was all nice and right in that packy snow.
Yeah.
And, while we were gone.
Yeah.
So we chased that around a little bit, but yeah, great time.
Yeah.
So I got it done at the end of the third week, same day as last year.
Oh, no kidding.
Remember I shot it Saturday, third week last year?
Yep.
Shot it Saturday.
Yeah, you're
third
right.
week of this year.
You're right. Yeah.
Still haven't got to hunt that fourth week for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, and this year, Paul, it was amazing because we had snow almost all season there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we had snow.
Great conditions.
Yeah.
Good year. And so just to finish up on that note, have you seen the harvest dashboard?
Well, yeah, I see that it says 46032, but I don't think that's changed for a few days. I'm going to believe that it's higher than. Yeah, it's actually higher than. I think, Paul, I checked it a few days ago, and that's exactly what it was. So, for some reason,
maybe it has probably to do with the holidays.
Yeah, could be. I kind of made a prediction a while back. It's going to be over 50.
I wouldn't be surprised.
By the time we only have 1 week of muzzle loading here in northern Maine. They have 2 in the southern part, but I Well, yeah, it's going to be over 50.
Our home zone, Fort Fairfield, zone
Yeah.
6, over 800 deer
Yeah.
have been registered. And then there's, I think the highest that I saw, I wrote it down. It was zone 17, 6,500 deer.
Yeah. So coming back from Boston yesterday, I saw a number of deer hit on the road, and I saw a number of live deer.
No kidding.
And I think, and I couldn't tell, but I think it was a small buck I almost hit going down in around Smyrna, just south of Holton.
Okay.
Come running right up alongside the car there, and he was on the move, and luckily he got up to the edge of the road instead of running out in front of me. He ran it, with the traffic. I thought, man, it was dark. I'd left early. I'd left home at 5:30, so I was down there. It was just breaking light, and I've seen plenty of deer, and the harvest. It's the best we've seen, and
I've seen the most bucks in a season that I've ever seen.
Yeah, we saw a lot of deer, Paul. Yeah. All season long, we saw deer, and for the way we hunt, we saw a lot of deer.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic season.
Hopefully we have another good winter and keep things going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think in our family they were saying over 10 deer that were shot by our family members, mostly on my wife's side, on your mom's side. Well, all of them. I don't have anybody on my side that hunts. So, yeah.
So, big thank you to Jason and Sherry.
Yes, for sure.
That really made the week.
Yeah.
And just kind of how things came together. So there's going to be a lot of stuff up regarding that.
Yeah.
Because even Jason's got a great story around the camps. And he's a collector of stuff. He likes the stories behind.
He does.
The outdoors.
And that's what I'm interested in, Paul. He knows the history of the North Maine woods, the outdoors and stuff, and he's interested in that. And like you say, he's a collector.
He's got stuff.
He's a collector of.
He should open a museum.
Yeah,
because he's got a lot of.
Yeah, and he has
canoes to
a lot of head knowledge too.
Baskets and axes and motors, and it seems like it didn't matter what you talked about. He's like, oh, I've got one of their canoes, or I've got one of their pack baskets, or I've got a.
Yeah.
It was like, holy smokes.
And books.
Yeah. Which I got one of his books that I got to get back to him.
Well, yeah. He loves to learn. Like I say, he's interested in the history and, you know, the things that went on before we got here. And that stuff interests me because that's exactly, I'm a book guy. Yeah. I love to read about the people that were there before us. And the Fred Becks and the Sleepy Atkins and
great stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll a few days from now we'll sum up our week 4.
Yeah.
Have maybe Keith can join us and
who knows? Maybe Keith will have a story between now and then.
I wouldn't be surprised. And like I said, he could probably twist my arm to go for a day.
Yeah.
Like I hate to see it come to an end.
Yeah.
Especially with,
gonna have fresh snow, snowing right now.
I know. But I'm like, man, I know there's a couple good bucks.
Yeah.
If you want to put a few miles on, you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
That's a great thing with deer tracking is, you can go from what feels like the crappiest day ever to just.
It can change in a heartbeat.
Just like that.
You can walk up just like you did the day you shot your deer. You weren't on a deer track when you went up in the woods.
Nope.
But you come out with a deer.
Yep.
You come out with a deer. If you go hard enough, long enough, and even if you follow old tracks, they're going to take you to where they like to hang 100%. Out, where there's other deer.
And that's how the day went.
Yep.
Right? I got no track I'm on. I'm just going into where I saw some deer.
Where you knew there was deer.
And then things just, as the day went on, it became hotter and hotter and hotter. And the whole time I'm thinking, yeah, at any time I could come upon
Yeah.
a deer. And I kept telling myself, be careful that, you don't shoot not that I'm going to pass up a lot of deer, because Lacey, come the third week, she just wants meat in the freezer. So I kind of got to be hush. She's like, what'd you see? I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Didn't see a deer. But yeah, I kept thinking, you could come on a deer. There's bucks going back and forth here.
Yeah.
And
you really have to, that type of hunting, you have to be a make it happen type of person. You got to, because like I say, you can start out, there's nothing. You're just going up on a ridge.
And people that don't do this type of hunting, they'll get on people for shooting at running deer.
Yeah.
And I hit that buck both times running.
Yeah.
And that's how I harvested it.
Yeah. You
will shoot very few deer doing this if you're waiting for that perfect standstill,
broadside,
no brush in the way.
Yeah, no.
You're never going to harvest a deer.
None of the people we know that track deer do it that way. You take the shot that you have, and then you deal with the
make it count as best as you can.
Yeah.
And I had two good, when he first took off, I had two good lanes. Like I said, the first shot I was pretty confident.
And under the right conditions, you're going to get them.
If there's snow and no worries about it leaving, one of two things are going to happen. Either the deer's just superficially wounded, or you're going to get the deer. But even superficially wounded, how many deer have you or people you've talked to just nick a buck?
Yeah.
Nothing, not going to kill the deer.
Yeah.
And they go bed down.
They want to lie down.
And you shoot them out of your bed, and then you look and you're like, man, he was hardly hit.
Yeah.
Like he just wanted to lay down.
Yeah. So
well, good. Anything else? Did I miss anything?
No, I
was kind of going through my thoughts earlier, like, man, everything is blending in together here the past few weeks.
Yeah.
I've been here, there, and everywhere.
So you'll put some photos up of your deer there on this. Yeah, it was a beautiful high rack 7-pointer. Yeah. It was not
the biggest buck ever, but
no, a beautiful deer.
It was one of my favorite hunts.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
It's one of my, just the way it all unfolded.
Well, there was one other thing that the night that we were headed back to.
I forgot about that.
We were headed back to the lodge right after we had loaded your deer in the back of your pickup. Had a buck cross.
Nice buck.
Yeah, cross the road right in front of us. It was after legal time, but it was just another situation of, like I say, we saw a lot of bucks this year.
A lot of deer.
We saw a lot of deer.
Which is the opposite. Like, of course, this is an anecdotal, so this is just my account. So my data is going to be just a little snippet. It may be accurate, may not be. But Fort Fairfield and these towns around here, I got to figure the buck to doe ratio is completely different here
than it is the big woods.
Because here, so like the day we get back from the first half of third week, I get here, there's 22 deer down in the field below my yard. Not one was a buck.
Yeah.
All does. Lacey has footage that morning of she's down back with the dog. Kids are running around playing. So our lawn connects to a 100-acre field, which is potatoes. They left, I don't know, a third of it or a quarter of it, kind of their rotational crop, unplowed. Yeah. The deer were hitting that pretty hard. So that morning, there was a bunch of deer down there, and she's got footage of a little buck mounting a doe.
Yeah, he was breeding.
Paid no attention to her, the dog, could care less.
Yeah, and it was a little buck.
Little buck.
Yeah, he wasn't any bigger than the doe.
And, Keith, now he's seeing all does and one little buck. All the weeks of me tracking in the woods, compared to what I see for buck sign and bucks, I saw very little doe sign.
Yeah.
Everything seemed to be rub, scrape.
Yeah.
A lot of tracks I'd probably say were like 2.5-year-old bucks.
Yeah.
Kind of that medium size.
Yeah.
But just a lot of, and they seemed like they were laying down sign like crazy.
Yeah.
Now, that may be anecdotal because it's just my...
No, it would stand to reason. I mean, that like I say, there's hunters around here, Paul, that it's hunted hard, you know, and anything that's
It harvested a lot of bucks around here.
yeah. There again,
bucks.
it'll be interesting to see. The last year it was 57 in Fort Fairfield in this township. So we'll get an idea. It'll be months before that information, the harvest for each township is posted, but the overall harvest, that should be in the next week or two. We'll have a final. Yeah, that's gonna. I got to believe it's gonna be how much over 50,000? I don't know, but that's a lot of deer.
It is,
because I can remember years where we harvested 18,000 in the state of Maine,
and we were at that after the first week or something.
Yeah,
that's including archery and all
and
that
youth day
stuff. And youth day.
Yeah, there's a lot of deer were harvested. Narda would say to me, "Well, that's bad, isn't it?" And I said, "Well, no, that's good. There's a lot of deer to be had."
Yeah,
it's the same type of thing when you see, not that you want deer to get hit by cars, but if you have a place where there's a high deer vehicle collisions, there's a good population. There's a lot of deer there.
Yeah,
and same thing with the harvest. There's a lot of deer in the state of Maine right now.
Yeah. So it was a good season. And some people still have a week of muzzle.
Or two if you're down the southern part of the state.
So if they haven't got a deer,
still plenty of time.
Don't be disappointed. I was talking to Lacey, not to drag this on too much longer, but I was talking to Lacey about that today. We were talking about social media. And I kind of waited till the end of rifle season to post a picture of my deer.
Yeah.
And part of it's just me. I feel like, and it might be just me overthinking it, but there's, a lot of people that don't shoot deer.
Yeah.
Right. And social media can make it seem like everybody's shooting deer and you're not.
Yeah.
And I always feel a little bit, I don't want to say guilty, but I don't want to just.
Right.
I like putting up pictures of other people's deer.
Yeah.
But I feel a little bit like, let's wait till the season's over. So maybe there's a guy sitting on stand the last day and he's discouraged.
Yeah.
And you just see constant deer.
Yeah.
Success stories. I think for some it probably can be a little bit.
Yeah. Discouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're left out. Yeah. And you were exactly right, Paul.
Hopefully it motivates some, but I can't help but.
You were exactly right. Because of social media, it seems like everybody's got a deer.
I was telling Lacey that.
It seems like everybody has shot a deer. And like I say, I know how I would feel right now if I hadn't.
Yeah, and all
I would feel like I'm the only guy in the state of Maine that hasn't shot a deer.
You open up your phone and you're just like, oh, everyone's shooting deer but me.
Yeah.
And it can be kind of So that may sound weird to some, but I
kind of try to understand that 100%.
Blast. But I like putting other pictures of other people's deer.
Yeah.
Like yours. Like I want to be like, Dad shot one in the same spot.
And we talked about, and I've never sent a picture of my deer to anybody.
Yeah.
Other than I may have to Narda, my wife. But I don't tell anybody I shot a deer, and I don't send a picture. Other than the immediate family, Narda, and then she shares it with our daughter Brittany and whoever. But I don't put it out there.
No,
I don't put it out there for whatever reason.
But I guess if everyone did that, you'd never see pictures of deer. But so I guess we're all different.
Yeah, that's just how I'm
the same way. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, that's why I waited a week before I put any pictures out, because it's like maybe there's that one person that he's struggling to shoot a deer, and I mean not like that may or may not make
they can be good hunters.
Oh my God!
I've had
sometimes crap happens.
Yeah, there's plenty of good hunters that. A
lot of people hit dry spells.
Yeah, and sometimes you're just not connecting. You're not in that spot that you. Sometimes you get in there the first day, and other times you work, and we've talked about that a number of times.
Keith had 4 or 5 years. We just was like, I just couldn't seem to make it happen.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So, alrighty. All right, we'll see if maybe Keith will join us next week. And
That would be fantastic. I'd love to hear Keith's perspective from somebody doesn't usually get out in the woods and
all
try.
he said to me was, "I would never go in the woods like this with anybody else."
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
"This is very." I'm like, Keith, it's really not that.
It's not bad at all.
He's like, "I have no idea." Where I said, "Oh, you'd figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
Walk in a straight line, you'll hit a road at some point."
Yeah. I mean, you'd have a couple ways of a compass and an Onyx and a GPS or whatever, but even if you didn't, you still could, you wouldn't have to walk far to hit a road. So.
All right. Well, good.
Yep.
Well, I hope everyone had a good hunting season, and we'll finish her up at the end of this week. So I guess until next time, get outside.
It's good for the soul.
See ya.